Hello, good evening. Om Shanti. Welcome. Everyone is doing well. Yeah. So today we have taken up the topic of happiness. To make happiness a habit. Yeah, especially in Sunday's message. It was said that whatever may happen, but the happiness should not go away. So happiness should not fluctuate. So what is the opposite of happiness? Sad, sorrow. So happiness should not fluctuate means that there shouldn't be any sorrow, which means the happiness should be unconditional. Right? It was said that, situations and people, whatever, they will come and they will go, just like a passing cloud. But the happiness should be constant. So we thought to take up this topic today and try and explore deeper. Of course, we are all happy almost 90% of the times. But, for those 10% of the times, what happens and how we can make it 100%. Right? Or at least, learn something about it. So, if we were to define happiness, what is happiness? How would we define happiness? Any thoughts? How would we define happiness?
When someone reach a goal,
When we reach a goal,
a destination,
right? Then we are happy.
content with all
When we are content, there are no desires. We are happy, right? Good. What else?
Feeling of joy and then the satisfaction in the feeling. So that our mood is always on the higher side. That's where the happiness.
You're always on the higher side. Yeah. Yeah. What else?
We think always positive.
Always positive, right?
We feel always happy.
Always happy. Yeah.
We feel love.
When we have love.
Yeah, we feel enjoy love.
When we experience love, when we receive love, then we are happy.
If we are in child mode.
Child mode. A child is always happy.
Peaceful state of mind.
Peaceful state of mind. Yeah, good. Yeah. Yeah. It's like nothing fluctuates. Child is a good example because a child doesn't need anything to be happy. Child is automatically happy. And that's why if we see that happiness is actually our natural state. Yeah, happiness is a natural state. If we are unhappy, it means that we are somewhere, we have moved to an unnatural state. Right? Because as children, we were always happy. So what it takes to make happiness a habit. So we are unconditionally happy. In this image, one thing I like, what is that? What is the spiritual significance of this image? Anyone would like to share? What is the significance of this image? What do we learn from this image over here?
Balance.
Balance, right? Good.
Anything may happen.
Anything may happen. We are happy. Yeah. What else?
Even the stool is going down, even on the downside.
Even on the downside, you should be happy, right? Yeah. And all that is good. The way I saw it also is it's like this little stone is above the ground, is not touching the other, the ground stones or the other ground. And there is someone who is holding it up there. And that stone, when actually is in that, has surrendered his intellect to that one, and that one actually holds him above the gravity. And who is that one that holds that stone above the gravity?
Almighty.
Yeah, right.
Or
That is the divine, right? Right. So surrendering to the divine allows us to be free from the pull of the gravity. So the more I make it a habit to be in remembrance of the one. So to allow the one to then hold my mind, my intellect to guide me constantly, then it's as if I'm automatically detached from whatever is happening around me. And then because I am detached, I can then stay in that consciousness of being uninfluenced and then be happy. Acha, so let us see, we have a few slides. This says, happiness is not just one day of excitement, it is a lifelong commitment to oneself. It's not a one day, right? So we just take out one day to be happy. But it's a commitment to oneself that no matter what happens, I will be happy. So ultimately in life, what is it that we're all looking for? Ultimately. Mhm. So we're,
Happiness.
yes, right, happiness. Everything else would be a means to get there. But ultimately, it's all about being happy. I may be doing whatever, I may be earning a lot, I may be the richest man in the world. But if I'm not happy, it doesn't mean much, right? Mhm. So the external achievements or whatever is okay, but if it doesn't give me it doesn't bring happiness, right? And we can really feel that. Suppose I have, achieved a lot, won a lot, I have worked hard towards something, I've achieved it, and I'm happy. But suddenly a phone comes and something has happened. Someone yells at me or something happens. Then suddenly that happiness disappears. Right? And so it's not based on whatever external we may or we may not have. Right? Mhm. So there is this one image that um, someone shared this morning. Says happiness is a state of mind. So even if I may have not earned what I would have liked to, but if I'm happy, right, that's what it's all about, right? Ultimately, we play. Why do we play a game? Any sport, any game, we play it to enjoy, to be happy. And so whoever came first, second, or third actually is not that important. Yeah, right. And the one who actually came first is not seems to be doesn't seem to be that happy because he's seeing, oh, why the third person is so happy, even if he came third, but he's so happy, right? And so this sanskar of staying happy actually is so important, and especially for kids, this is one sanskar that we should, as parents, always share with them. It's like no matter if you achieve anything or not, because of course in life there will be success sometimes, but sometimes there won't be success. There will be failures too. But it's important to be happy because that's what they say, happiness is not only the destination but also the journey. So at every huh? Yeah, right. Yeah. Mhm. It says, happiness is not about getting all you want, it's about enjoying all you have. It's not about getting what you want, but it's about enjoying what you have. So the focus shifts on what I have right now. Because generally the focus is what I want, what I want, what I want. And what we have and we sometimes don't even recognize is Baba, right? What else? Sometimes we should be just happy that we are alive, isn't it? We have a body and we souls are able to use it and express ourselves and learn something new every day. This is also a matter of being happy. It's like happiness actually doesn't lie in big, big accomplishments, but in simple, simple things. So we have a little story. We'll watch it.
Upon a time, there was an old lady who lived in a small village. She was very kind, wise, and always happy. The people in the village loved her very much. They often came to her to ask for advice or to talk about their problems. One day, a young man from the village asked her, "Why are you always happy? No matter what happens, you never seem sad. Don't you ever feel bad when things go wrong?" The old lady smiled gently and replied, "My dear, life is full of ups and downs. Some days are good and some days are bad. But I learned that happiness comes from inside, not from what happens around me." The young man was confused and asked, "What do you mean? How can you be happy when bad things happen?" The lady told him a story from her own life. "When I was young, I had a family, a husband and children. We were not rich, but we were happy. One day, my husband got sick, and we did not have enough money to buy medicine. We tried everything, but he passed away. It was the saddest day of my life. I cried and cried. I thought I would never be happy again." The young man listened carefully as the old lady continued her story. "After some time, I realized that being sad all the time would not bring my husband back. My children needed me, and I needed to find a way to be happy again. I started to look at life differently. I understood that life will always have good and bad moments, but I decided that I would not let the bad moments steal my happiness." The young man looked at her with surprise. "But how did you do that?" he asked. The old lady smiled and said, "Every morning when I wake up, I tell myself, today is a new day, and I will find something to be happy about. Some days are harder than others, but I always find something, even if it is small. Maybe the sun is shining, maybe a flower is blooming, or maybe I see a friend. There is always something to be thankful for." The young man thought about what she said. "But what if something really bad happens? How can you still be happy?" "It's not easy," the old lady replied. "But I remind myself that everything passes. Even the bad times will not last forever. When bad things happen, I tell myself, this too will pass. I focus on the good things I still have, like my health, my friends, or even just the fact that I am alive. Happiness is a choice. You can choose to focus on the bad things and be sad, or you can choose to find the good things and be happy. It's not always easy, but it is possible." The young man thanked the old lady for her wise words. He left her house and decided to try her advice. From that day on, he tried to find something good in every situation, just like the old lady. Slowly, he realized that his life became better, even when things went wrong. He learned to stay positive and find happiness in the small things. The old lady's story spread throughout the village. More and more people started to understand that happiness is not about what you have or what happens to you, but about how you see life. They learned to be happy in every situation, just like the wise old lady, and so the village became a happier place, thanks to the old lady who taught them all the secrets of true happiness. Happiness is a choice that comes from within. No matter how difficult life may get, we can find joy in the small things and choose to focus on the good. Life's challenges will pass, but a positive attitude helps us remain strong and content.
Simple story, but quite, I thought it's very deep, right? It depends on how we see life, because what happened in her life was not easy to handle. Right? She thought that I need to find happiness in this moment, in whatever little that in the day. And so she said, like, even sunrise, right? Sun is shining, flowers are blooming. This also, she sees a friend, like small things that often get unnoticed. And that's where actually happiness lies. Happiness doesn't lie in big achievements. And if we think about it, in this, they call happiness index. And they find that the countries that are very well off in terms of resources and, financially and everything, their happiness index is not necessarily high. But we all have heard about it, right? But countries actually who live, where people live a very simple life, and generally they're more connected to the nature, and they have less, external things, their happiness index is higher. You've heard about it, this country called Bhutan or something, right? That is, the happiness index is very high. And so happiness actually doesn't depend on what we think that, we will get from the external world, but it's a choice, a choice. There is a nice cartoon, and I liked it. It says, so someone says to a monk, I want happiness. I want happiness. And then what does he do is he says, first remove I, that's ego, then remove want, that's desire. Now all you're left with is happiness. I thought it's very deep, right? So sometimes we feel, I want happiness. So what is coming in the way of happiness are two words. What are two words? The first word is I. And the second word is want. So if I remove these two words from my dictionary, no I and no want, then all I'm left with is happiness. I thought it was quite nice, the way. Does it make sense? Yeah. So if there is no ego, there is no I, because ego comes in the way of happiness. That's why Baba said, when you say I, remember I am a soul, because otherwise it takes you away from happiness.
वांट करते रहेंगे तो हैप्पीनेस नहीं होगी।
If
छोटी
I-
छोटी चाहना में
yeah,
टाइम एनर्जी सब जाएगी।
chali jayegi, right? So no I and no want makes me happy. Mhm. And so if I feel that my happiness is maybe reduced someday, then what do I need to check? The two words I need to check. Maybe somewhere what came in? I came in, ego came in, or want came.
Desire.
Want is desire, right? Desire, right? And if we see that these two words are very interesting because that I brings ego, and what ego does is actually ego, in a way, removes the wisdom. When the ego comes, wisdom gets out of the window, right? Because that's what ego does. And the wisdom, like in that video, no, the lady said the words of wisdom, like she said, this too shall pass. Everything is transient, right? Just to be detached. So this wisdom is removed when there is ego. And
But ego
want,
is so सूक्ष्म,
yeah,
not understand at all.
yeah, right. Mhm. But sometimes by checking, we get to realize the subtler forms of ego. And the second is want. So, want we can easily overcome the more we practice. In that video, also, the lady said gratitude. So, actually, there are two ways to remain constantly happy. It's like the wisdom, inner wisdom of who I am, where I've come from, who is mine, and to be grateful. Mhm. To be grateful for what we have, right? Mhm. Right? Because this really makes us happy. Mhm. So there is a nice another slide that we got. It's about some habits of happy people, and though it's really nice. It's some habits. What are some of the habits of happy people? It's the 6 habits of happy people. First is it says don't show off. Second, talk less. Third, learn daily. And then fourth, help less fortunate.
Helpless.
Less fortunate means those who are less fortunate than we are, to help them. Then laugh more and ignore nonsense. Right. And I know these are really nice, very simple things, but if we realize that, if there is ego, I may be doing things just to show off, not with that genuine intention. And then I may want to talk a lot, but then, when I talk less, I preserve my energy. Learn daily. So learning, spiritual learning, not just listening to spiritual discourse or spiritual teachings, but actually having an attitude of learning something new every day. Right? So, what is something new that I learned from the Murli or whatever that I read today? Because learning makes it personal. Mhm. And helping others gives happiness too. We call it the helper's high. Right? The more we help, the more we volunteer out of heart, pure heart, the more we feel happy. Laugh more. The more we laugh, the more
Helpless fortunate.
help less fortunate.
अच्छा
Means,
helpless.
and ignore. The power to ignore also is important, right? Because sometimes a lot of clutter just happens. um, so there is a nice little clip about gratitude and how sometimes the small things in life that often go unnoticed, and the more we focus on those, the more we experience inner happiness. So it's a nice clip. We may have watched it earlier, but I thought it's really nice to maybe revise it again and watch it together. So we'll just play it again. Oh. Yeah, I really like the way he says, you open the eyes and be grateful that you have eyes to open. Because sometimes we don't really value that we have these eyes that we can actually open and see the world. Mhm. Right. And he said that this is the day, the only day that is given to me as a gift. It's a gift from God. And the only appropriate response is to be grateful. And so gratitude, gratefulness actually uh, then makes us happy automatically. Mhm. Mm. And that's why the more, the way God teaches us, the more I say Mera Baba, means God is mine, God is mine. What I'm actually subconsciously activating is this gratitude circuit. It's like I'm saying, the more I say Mera Baba means I'm more and more grateful to God for his presence and his company in my life. And the more I do that, the more I actually experience happiness. Mhm. So we say that gratitude starts a chain reaction towards happiness. Gratitude starts a chain reaction towards happiness. Means when I'm grateful, then I'm happy. And when I'm happy, I'm more grateful. More grateful, more thankful. And so then I'm more happy. And then I'm more grateful, right? So it's like a chain reaction. Mhm. Right. And so this chain reaction is what results in this. In chemistry, we have read about this, right? So all the explosions happen through the chain reaction. And if we look at how this chain reaction happens, is through this flow chart. We can, see. So gratitude leads to fullness. So when I'm grateful, I'm full. And fullness leads to no desires. Don't need to have desires. And when I have no desires, then there is unconditional acceptance of everyone and of every situation around me. And unconditional acceptance leads to happiness. And when I'm happy, then I'm automatically more grateful. Mhm. Right? So it leads to a chain reaction. Right? And so uh, if we see, it's a very simple, the more I'm just grateful for life, for this, physical chariot, grateful to God, grateful to everyone around me, grateful for having a job. I mean, there's so many things, right? Sometimes we may feel like, something happened at job, but let me be grateful that I have a job. Or, just to be grateful to have food to eat. Simple things, but the more I actually pay attention to these, the more And that's what actually we were taught, no, in our childhood, like when you eat, first pray, which really means that be thankful. Give some time to be thankful. Yeah. Um, so uh, let's see what happens. So grateful, this attitude of grateful, what happens is uh, the moment ego comes, that attitude goes away. And so I experience a different reality then. So when I'm under the influence of ego, this is what I experience. Mind experiences battles, fight, right? So I'm in a battling mode inside. But when I'm grateful, then the mind experiences blessings. So in everything, I start to look at it as a blessing. Even if there is a loss, I don't, fight it. I look at it as a blessing. So that's called flight. That's what Papa said, like Urti Kala, right? You're just flying, just in that above zone. In ego mind, I see challenges. Anything happens, I see a challenge. But in gratitude, I see the opportunity. So in ego, I'm a slave of desires. In gratitude, I am the master of mind. Ego focus on correction. Gratitude focus on connection. Connection with the divine. Right? And connection, of course, with at a deeper level, at a soul level, not just at a superficial level. Ego, self-importance. I give importance to myself. Gratitude, motivation to serve. It's like be more motivated to think about others.
सभी के बारे में
Sabhi ke baare. Ego focus on earning, and gratitude focus on learning. Mhm. Right. So this is
focus upon
earning. Yeah, when I'm in ego, then my focus will be on earning something. So whatever I do, the background, dialogue with the self would be, what is there in it for me? What do I earn? It could be physical, or it could be respect, or it could be credit, something like, I want to earn
काम
something.
करना चाहते हैं
हाँ.
जो लोग सम्मान दें
हाँ.
प्यार दें
Yeah. I want to earn something. But in gratitude, I want to learn something. So whatever I'm doing, I'm trying to learn and grow rather than trying to earn something. Yeah. And
motivation to serve
serve.
सबको motivate करें
Motivation means I will be motivated to serve others rather than thinking about myself too much, right? And so this attitude of gratitude allows me to be happy. And what if when life presents me with a lot of challenges, at that time, how to be happy, right? So just like in that clip that we watched, it said that the more we experience that inner wisdom, the more we are able to cross those challenges. And we'll watch a little story, and that story tells us what that wisdom is. Yeah? And if we just hold on to that one piece of wisdom, we can cross any situation without being sad, right? So let's watch that little clip.
Once, a king called upon all of his wise men and asked them, "Is there any mantra or any suggestion which works in every situation, in every circumstances, in every place, and in every time, in every joy, every sorrow, every defeat, and every victory? One answer for all questions, something which can help me when none of you is available to advise me. Tell me, is there any mantra?" All the wise men were puzzled by the king's question. They thought and thought. After a lengthy discussion, an old wise man suggested something which appealed to all of them. They went to the king and gave him something written on a paper, with a condition that the king was not to see it out of curiosity, only in extreme danger. When the king finds himself alone and there seems to be no way, only then he can see it. The king put the paper under his diamond ring. Some time later, the neighbor's king attacked his kingdom. King and his army fought bravely but lost the battle. The king had to flee on his horse. The enemies were following him, getting closer and closer. Suddenly, the king found himself standing at the end of the road. That road was not going anywhere. Underneath there was a rocky valley, 1,000 feet deep. If he jumped into it, he would be finished. And he could not return because it was a small road. The sound of enemies' horses was approaching fast. The king became restless. There seemed to be no way. Then suddenly, he saw the diamond in his ring shining in the sun, and he remembered the message hidden in the ring. He opened the diamond ring and read the message. The message was, "This too shall pass." The king read it and again read it. Suddenly, something struck him. "Yes, this too shall pass," he said to himself. "Only a few days ago, I was enjoying my kingdom. I was the mightiest of all the kings. Yet today, the kingdom and all my pleasures have gone. I am here trying to escape from enemies. Like those days of luxuries have gone, this day of danger too will pass." And a calmness came on his face. He kept standing there. The place where he was standing was full of natural beauty. He had never known that such a beautiful place was also a part of his kingdom. The revelation of the message had a great effect on him. He relaxed and forgot about those following him. After a few minutes, he realized that the noise of the horses and the enemies coming was receding. They moved into some other part of the mountain and were nowhere near him. The king was very brave. He reorganized his army and fought again. He defeated the enemy and regained his empire. When he returned to the empire after victory, he was received with much fanfare. The whole capital was rejoicing in the victory. Everyone was in a festive mood. Flowers were being showered on king from every house. From every corner, people were dancing and singing. For a moment, king said to himself, "I am one of the bravest and greatest kings. It is not easy to defeat me." With all the reception and celebration, he saw an ego emerging in him. Suddenly, the diamond of his ring flashed in the sunlight and reminded him of the message. He opened it and read it again. There was written, "This too shall pass." He became silent. His face went through a total change. From the egoist, he moved to a state of utter humbleness. He thought that if this too shall pass, then it is not yours. The defeat was not yours. The victory is not yours. You are just a watcher. Everything passes by. We are witness of all this. We are the perceivers. Life comes and goes. Happiness comes and goes. Sorrow comes and goes. All these moments will pass away. Therefore, I should not get attached with all this. If we see in our lives and silently evaluate it, we will find that this too shall pass. Think of the moments of joy and victory in your life. Think of the moments of sorrow and defeat. Are they permanent? No. They all come and pass away. Life just passes away. There is nothing permanent in this world. Everything changes except the law of change. Think over it from your own perspective. You have seen all the changes. You have survived all setbacks, all defeats, and all sorrows. All have passed away. The problems in the present, they too will pass away. Because nothing remains forever. Joy and sorrow are the two faces of the same coin. They both will pass away. You are just a witness to change. Experience it, understand it, and whenever you are going through difficult time in your life, always remember that this too shall pass.
That was the wisdom that this too shall pass. Seems to be a very simple, small sentence, but it actually is powerful. Because then it doesn't allow the ego to come in when there are good times. Because I know this too shall pass. It doesn't allow sorrow to come in when there are hardships. Because I know this too shall pass. And so beyond sorrow and beyond ego, it is always a constant happiness. Or just maybe end with this one image, like if we see the image of Krishna, Krishna is always shown to be happy and smiling. And if we see in his face, there's a deep sense of that he knows something deep about life because of which he's smiling. And he's gone through so many challenges in his life, starting from his birth until the very end. But he's always shown to be smiling, which means that he knows that deep secret of life. And because he is holding on to that, no matter what comes, success comes, failure comes, he's always happy. Let's maybe just hold on to that as we just take a moment to just go within and realize that happiness is a choice that I make in every moment of my life. I realize that I am grateful for everything in this life, for everyone in my life. I'm grateful for this life itself. And the sense of gratitude allows me to be unconditionally happy. I also realize the transient nature of all the events in life and maintain a natural sense of detachment, understanding that this too shall pass. And so the only constant, eternal companion of I, the soul, I experience my eternal relationship with the One. And in the experience of being with the One, I experience constant happiness. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your time, presence. Let's open up. Maybe those on Zoom, if maybe anyone would like to share. Any thoughts? Bless you. Please do. Oh, sure.
Shanti.
We have Shanti.
Very beautiful class as usual. Simple mantra, this too shall pass, is what to hold on. Everything changes, nothing is permanent. And reminding, living a life of gratitude. I am alive. That's the first thing to be grateful about. We definitely make one happy. Thank you so much, Saurabh. Om Shanti.
Thank you. Are you now in Indianapolis?
Yes, Saurabh, we came
Oh,
last
that's why we are feeling so happy. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank
We
you.
hope to see you soon.
Yes, most likely will be there on Saturday morning. We have an appointment tomorrow, and after that, we'll see. Saturday will be there. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Great. Any other thoughts from Zoom?
Om Shanti Saurabhai.
Shanti and Yashbhai.
Yeah, two things like to hold on to is like, having the attitude of gratitude. So that is one thing that I will probably, take from this class. And the other one was the getting, being in that detached mode, from whatever is happening around us, because everything is very transient. So like that 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 itself, relieves us from a lot of things, and like we get a sense of happiness. So yeah, those two things would be something that I'll take from this class. Thank you very much. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Harshbhai. Harshbhai ko to naam hi Harsh hai, so he's always happy. Yeah, thank you.
मैंने उनके अंदर से हमेशा ग्रेटिट्यूड निकलता है, इसलिए वो अच्छे भी रहते हैं.
Great. Any other thoughts? Cha, we have a few angels here. So the
Three takeaways. First is practicing gratitude. I feel it's like one of the slides it said, I forgot the text, but it's something about less fortunate or something on those lines. So my older one, she is volunteering at different places, and it's sometimes because these kids have grown up in, I mean, somewhat privileged environment, they don't realize what they should be grateful for. It's one thing they know, okay, Thanksgiving, you're grateful for XYZ things, but on a daily basis. So she volunteered at a food pantry in Scienceville, and they had to make food packages for the underprivileged. And she saw how minimal things were in one package, and that was supposed to be a meal for a family. And that's when she started realizing, I mean, she's not there yet, but it was a good start because she's now realizing how easily she gets food on the table. And there are families that don't even get this package like every single day. It just depends. Or there's a schedule on when the families can stop by and take it, kind of. So it's a good thing, even for kids to learn, and of course for grown-ups. So yeah, practicing gratitude, and this too shall pass is also a big takeaway that I think I'm going to practice going forward. So and I like the monk thing also, actually. Remove the I and the want. Because naturally the soul is happy, but we bring these, and that's where we lose our happiness, because we're bringing our desires and our ego in. So if you can identify even the subtle, it's not like the materialistic desires, but the subtle ones that creep in. So, yeah, thank you so much for sharing. Short class. Thank you, Shanti.
For me, gratitude is very close to my heart. First time I experienced was when I was 19 years old. I was almost blind, and by age of 11, I couldn't see anything. I had to hold wall to walk every step without my pair of glasses. So after waiting for an adult age to go through a surgery, and when I first was able to see clearly my mother's face, my sister's face without a glass, a very thick glass without a glass, was a unexplainable experience and moment in life. How thankful I am I'm able to see that vision. So I've been blessed that was able to see for the last 20 years. And there is some hurdle to get through, but I hope, but I've been very thankful I'm able to see. But that's my starting point of gratitude. But I've also been able to, through Brahma Kumaris, it just helped me to bring me back that reminding myself to pay gratitude in number of forms. Flowers, like you said, and dews and morning sunshine. And that's one of the reasons I take lots of photography, because I'm so thankful for those experiences in life. And like Tejagan said, yesterday I was in my office volunteering, and I was actually packing exactly the same thing for serving with the Red Cross volunteering. And so in US, in India, in US, there are 12.5% people who are every single day going in hunger. There's no food. So we packed little rice, little soya, and some dried vegetables and seasoning. People are waiting to even to have that much food. And it's just one small packet that we packed. It truly reminds, even for adults, how much we take things for granted. So yeah, I try my best to engage myself in the community to work. There's so much more I can do, but so anyway, gratitude it's definitely close, and today's topic is definitely close to my heart. And happiness is for sure I've personally experienced. Like you said, it's a cycle. Gratitude drives happiness. Happiness drives gratitude. Drives gratitude. And I realize that when I'm so happy, I'm also drawing people through my energy, particularly when I travel. So a lot more to practice and keep it in the forefront. So thanks for a lovely session. Which place? Which place? Packing? Indiana. Indiana? Yes, Indiana. Om Shanti. So we feel happiness. तो जितना हम पॉजिटिव हर वे में सोचते जाते हैं, हर वे में उसको पॉजिटिविटी उठाते हैं, तो अंदर की इनर हमारी हैप्पीनेस बढ़ती है, क्योंकि नेगेटिव से हम दूर होते जाते हैं, क्योंकि वी फील नेगेटिव देन क्रिएट सॉरो, वी फील पॉजिटिव सो क्रिएट हैप्पीनेस. तो फर्स्ट स्मॉल थिंग जो बाबा भी कहते हैं, बच्चे ग्रेटिट्यूड करो. जब हम एक दूसरे को कोई भी छोटी बात पर भी हम ग्रेटिट्यूड करते हैं, तो हमारे हार्मोन जो सीक्रेट होते हैं वो हैप्पीनेस के होते हैं. तो जो हैप्पीनेस के क्रिएट होते हैं, तो आप हर समय अंदर से खुश रहते हैं, ऑलवेज फील हैप्पी. तो ईगो जब आता है, ईगो आता है जब हम शो करते हैं किसी भी चीज को. तो जब शो करते हैं तो हमारी एनर्जी डिप्लीट होती है. हमारी एनर्जी जब डिप्लीट होती है तो वो दुख आता है, क्योंकि स्टोर जब होगी यहाँ एनर्जी, तभी हैप्पीनेस हमारी क्रिएट होगी. और यहाँ एनर्जी कब स्टोर होगी? जब हम ग्रेटिट्यूड करते हैं. छोटी छोटी बात पर भी जब हम ग्रेटिट्यूड करते हैं तो वहाँ स्टोरेज बढ़ती है, एनर्जी की स्टोरेज बढ़ती है, और वी फील ऑलवेज हैप्पी. लेकिन वहीं जब उल्टा होता है
कि किसी ने हमारे लिए कुछ कहा भी किया भी, लेकिन हमने उसके लिए ग्रेटिट्यूड नहीं किया, तो उसके दिल में भी वो दुआएं नहीं निकलती हैं। ये छोटी छोटी थिंग है कि जब दुआ नहीं निकलती है ना, तो यहाँ पर हमारा कलेक्ट नहीं होती एनर्जी, जिसको लोग की भाषा में कहते हैं बद्दुआ और दुआ। तो बद्दुआ मिल रही है। बद्दुआ क्या है कि जब हम किसी को ग्रेटिट्यूड नहीं करते हैं, किसी की दी हुई चीज को हमने मतलब दिल से एक्सेप्ट भी नहीं किया और उसको हमने कुछ बदले में ब्लेसिंग भी नहीं दी, दुआ नहीं दी, तो वो हमारी ही एनर्जी डिप्लीट होती है। और वो जो ईगो है वो हमारे दुख का कारण बन जाता है। बाबा भी कहते हैं बच्चे हर हाल में शुक्रिया अदा करो, बाबा को शुक्रिया करो कि बाबा तुम बच्चों को कितना कुछ दे रहे हैं, लेकिन हम समझ नहीं पाते, बाबा को शुक्रिया नहीं करते, बाप के बच्चों को शुक्रिया नहीं करते। जो भी हमें चीज मिल रही है ना, ब्रह्मांड से जो भी मिल रहा है, यूनिवर्स से, तो हमें ग्रेटिट्यूड करना है हर चीज का, तब हम ऑलवेज हैप्पी रह सकेंगे। वी फील ऑलवेज हैप्पी। थैंक यू सौरभ भाई, बहुत अच्छा वंडरफुल क्लास था और बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला। सो
थैंक यू।
शांति, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया है कोर्स शिव बाबा के और सौरभ भाई के कि इतनी प्यारी जर्नी गुरुवार पे दिखे थर्सडे को। लास्ट वीक बताया था कि हमें कैसे हम ट्रांसफॉर्म करें अपनी वीकनेस को स्ट्रेंथ में, और आज बता रहे हैं कि उस स्ट्रेंथ को खुशी में बदलो, हैप्पीनेस में बदलो। कैसे हमें गाइड करा जा रहा है एक एनलाइटमेंट पाथ की तरफ। उसमें जो पॉइंट बहुत अच्छे लगे कि हैप्पीनेस के क्या क्या आपके अंदर नेचर हो सकता है, कि वो हमारा एक नेचुरल स्टेट है और हमें बचपन बच्चों जैसा बिहेव करें और बचपना जरूर रखें, ऑफ कोर्स मेच्योरिटी भी हो, जो कि 6 हैबिट्स ऑफ हैप्पी पीपल के अंदर बताया गया कि अब ज्यादा शो ऑफ ना करें या फिर कम बोले, टॉक लेस हो गया, डेली कुछ ना कुछ सीखें, 1% ही सीखें। जैसे कि बहुत पिछले सेशंस में बताया गया था कि 1% हम डेली करते हैं तो हम 31%, 37% ग्रो करते हैं। तो कुछ दिन में 1% छोटा सा सीखें, खूब खुश है, लाफ मोर, कुछ भी देखें उसमें खूब हंसें, क्योंकि जो वीकनेसेस है वो थोड़ा डाउन ले आती हैं। और अपने से 1% नीचे भी छोटे लोगों की जरूर मदद करें, वो बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट है कि हेल्प लेस फॉर्चुनेट, जैसे अभी तेजू बहन ने भी बताया। एंड इग्नोर नॉनसेंस, मतलब वो हम गांधी जी के अभी अक्टूबर 2 को गांधी जी का बर्थडे आ रहा है, तो बंदर अच्छे हैं कि कम ही सुने, कम देखें, और गांधी जी लेसन, तो वो भी बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट है। ग्रेटिट्यूड, और and was one last summary of it is every um, instant would pass away. This too shall pass away. Either it's the uh, the trouble time, or even if it's good time. So just wherever it's there, just shukriya karte rahe. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjeev. ओम शांति। इसका कुछ और ये अच्छा क्लास था, मतलब जीवन जीने का वो कला है, मतलब द आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग। बाकी सब बातें तो एवरीबॉडी हैज टोल्ड ऑल द थिंग्स, सबने बताया। बस एक छोटी सी बात ये है कि अगर को खुश रहना है तो हम ऊपर ना देखें, नीचे देखें। कि हम ये ना देखें कि हमसे कितने ऊपर हैं, तो उसमें हमको दुख होगा। और अगर
हम देखें मुझे नीचे कितने हैं, तो हमको दुख नहीं, तो जो हमको मिला है उसमें हम खुश हैं। ये बहुत अच्छी बात। इसी में एक छोटा सा एक कहानी ऐसी है, हिंदी में बता सकते हैं कि एक धूप पड़ रही थी, तो एक लकड़हारा बेचारा लकड़ी लेके जा रहा था, चप्पल नहीं थी उसके पैर में। तो बोलता है भगवान तूने क्या किया है, चप्पल तक नहीं हुए पैर चल रहे हैं, और वो सेठ को देखो उस वजन में नहीं उसके पास में है और इतने अच्छे जूते पहन के जा रहे हैं। तो थोड़ी दूर आगे बढ़ा तो देखा एक और आदमी जा रहा है लाठी पकड़ के, कि उसके पैर भी नहीं। तो बोला भगवान शुक्र है कम से कम तुझे पैर तो दिए। वही है कि हम मतलब जिनके पास बहुत कुछ है उनसे हम लोग कंपेयर ना करें, बल्कि जिनके पास नहीं, जो हमारे पास, तो हम खुश भी रहेंगे समझ। थैंक यू सर भाई, थैंक यू फैमिली। अगर फैमिली है तभी तो सब कुछ चल रहा है। क्या पापा ने भी कहा था जो बच्चों को फुला दिया कि तुम तो हो गए, अब तुम करोगे क्या, तो परिवार तो बनाओ अपना, कि बिना परिवार के तो कुछ फायदा नहीं है, तो परिवार तो सबसे पहले।
Thank you, Baba and family. Any final thoughts? Sure. So thank you and have a good rest of the evening. Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Om Shanti.